Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, last session we learnt about events. So, what we discussed about events, we learnt about what are events and event arguments. Event arguments. We discussed about working with events and event arguments. So, I told you about default event arguments. What are those? Yeah, default event arguments. We have two default event arguments. What is it? Another one, this one, another one is event. What is this? It sends details about the element. Element is detail related details, means what? ID, name, class, all these. Event related details you can get by using event. Right? Now we have to learn few different types of events. Already what are the events we are having, how to deal with those events, right? Actually, when we are dealing with the events, so what is the concept about events is one categories I given you on a list. So we have first mouse events. So mouse events, these are related to handling interaction with the mouse. That means we want some actions to perform. When user is using the mouse, we want some activities to perform. So how do we handle the activities? So we want some activities to perform while dealing with them, right? Like we have options like on, mouse over, on, mouse down, on, mouse up, on, mouse out, on, mouse move. These are all mouse related events. So mouse have some important events like over, down, up, out, and move. Just one example I will show you here how we can use mouse over, down, and other this. Basically, suppose we have some websites like suppose this is Flipkart, and you can see in Flipkart some mobiles, and you can see some mobiles related information. Here you can observe. So when we are watching some details, you see left side. When I move the mouse onto that particular image, that image preview will come. So we are not clicking, just mouse is over, that image preview will come. These kind of things we can manage. That means when mouse is over, then some action is performed, right? How we can do that? Let's see. Suppose we are having some details. So here we are having some options like this one. What is it? So let's open one page. Already we have some pictures in public images. Some images are there, M1, M2, M3, like that. Now see, I am giving here a page. So we will add one page here, right? That is mouse.html. Now creating a page, and here some mouse events, and here I have one section. We have a nav and a main. So we will create some divs with some image. Image source is, we have images. Suppose there is m1.jpg. So width is 50, height is 50. Small. Okay, these are the images we are having. 3, 4, like this we have. This is M1, M2, M3, another one is M4. These are the images we are having. Now, these images, we want to display preview when mouse is over. We want to display the preview for them. So what we will do now here, let's keep some style. In that, wherever now image is present, so for that we will give a border as 2 pixels solid, some black, and the margin bottom as 50 pixel. Some gap will come. Some gap will come. These are the images we are having. Now, beside that, so we will write section. Section we will display as what? Grid. Grid template columns is equal to 3 fractions. Another one is suppose 9 fractions. Now what we want to do is we want to keep an image here, image. So image width is suppose 300 pixels and height some 400 pixel. This image will have an ID as preview. That is the preview of that. Now what we will do is, that is the image we are having. Now we can simply create the combination. This is 2 enough, 2 and 10. Little near we can configure. Okay. Now what we will do, whenever body loads, we want one image to display here in preview. By default, you can keep one image. SRC is what we have, public images, and we have m1.jpg. So that is the image we are displaying. Right now, what we need to do, when mouse is over these images, then first we need to collect that image source and we need to apply here. We define there. So let's write the logic. So we are writing script, and in the script we have a function. Function we will say as load image. This load image function have to set some image. Which image? The image on which mouse is over. That means now this function should be used by all these images. That means on this image, we are adding on mouse over. On mouse over load image. That means here on mouse over load image. All are using the same function. Then how this function knows which image it have to use? That means what we can do, we can send the current image SRC to this particular load image function. How to send? I want to send this image SRC into load image. How we can send? How we can send that? How we can send this image SRC into this function? Yesterday I told you how to send the current element details. In that element details, we discussed that we can send all details or we can send specific details. How to send specific details? That means here we have to just use this dot SRC. That means you can send all details, but all details not required, only SRC. That means the current element, this dot what? SRC. So this dot SRC. So this dot SRC, right? Here, these are the options. Now what we need to do, we need to get them and display inside this area. Right now, how we can handle that? Just how to collect it now? It is SRC is a path. We will just use a reference variable called path. That means the path contains that SRC. And where to apply that? To the preview image. So document dot get element by ID. What it is? Preview. Preview dot SRC is equal to path. That means preview is this image right side now. This image right side. Its path is displayed here. Its path is displayed here. That means we are collecting the path of the image on which mouse is over. That path we are applying to preview. Then see what will happen when we move the mouse onto it. It will display that image. On mouse over, it will display. We know how to change the color on which image currently mouse is over. We know how to change color. We learned about here in the nav image hover, right? When mouse is over on the image, then we will put border 2 pixel solid, which color? Blue. And here we have to define one simple cursor style also. That means we will put cursor as grab. Grab means some hand symbol will come, right? Now you can see it is going to display in this way. So when mouse is over, the border is blue and the image is changing. This is hover. That means if you want some actions to perform when mouse pointer is over, then we can handle that by using this technique. How the images are changing when mouse is over, whatever the image source is present, that image source we are applying to the preview. We don't need to write several functions. Only one function can verify all of them, right? This is a simple example of mouse over. How we can use mouse over. That's example I am giving here. Just like Flipkart, we created that mouse over. Similarly, we have options mouse down, mouse up. We have mouse out. For example, see, that means that depends how you want. I don't want immediately on mouse over. When they hold down the button, then it should display. Then what you do, instead of mouse over, we have to just use, suppose for the second image, I am giving mouse down. That means what will happen now? When I move the mouse over that, it will not display. I hold down the button, it will display. I release the button, now it is normal. On release, I can display another image if I want. For here, mouse over is there, but here mouse over is not there. What is there? Mouse down, mouse down. So that is how it is going to manage. So this is a basic example. So you can use mouse over and all. Let's see another example, how we can handle. I think already I showed you with mark Q. Remember that? Mark Q, mouse over, mark Q can stop. Again, release, it can resume. So how we can manage that? While working with mark Q, we discussed that here. So mouse one.html. So here we are having some content. Let's say same. We have a mark Q. In that we have an image. Image source is so public images and m1.jpg. So width is 50 or 100 and the height also 100. Like this, we have some images inside mark Q. And for mark Q, we have different options, like you say. So we have different attributes, scroll amount. Mark Q scroll amount I given as 10. Then this is the mark Q we are having. This is another page. These are the options. So when mouse is over, I want to pause the mark Q. Then we know we have to write a simple on mouse over. We can directly write this dot stop. This refers to current mark Q. Mark Q have a method called stop. And similarly on mouse out. On mouse out, this dot what? Start. This dot start. So on mouse over, it will stop, and on mouse out, it will resume. Right? Now you can see here, when I move the mouse onto it, then it is going to pause. And again out, then it will again resume. These are mouse over. If I want it to zoom and all, we already learned that in, I think I showed you in CSS 2D and 3D, right? How we can make it zoom and display, scale and all, you can try them. So this is a simple one actually for mouse over and mouse out. We have mouse move like option. For example, see, suppose when user is moving the mouse, we can handle some functionality. Suppose see, another example I will give here. This is mouse 2.html. Yeah. Actually, I need some picture here. Let's open some public images. I will copy some image here. Suppose in our computer, we have some images. So we have some images. Now flag is a GIF file. So see now here we are adding some div. This div have a style. Height of div is 1000 pixel and below that image. Image source I am giving as, so we have public images. So flag.gif width is 50, height is 50. Now in this div, I will put a message, move mouse pointer to test, something like this we give it. Actually, when we open this page, mouse 2, currently only this text is present. There is a picture, but picture is somewhere bottom. At the bottom, you have an image. It's a GIF file. So you cannot see that image whenever the page is open. You cannot see that image because it is somewhere bottom. Because it is somewhere bottom, you cannot see it. Actually, now what we can do is when we are moving the mouse on the body, we will try to get the position of mouse. How to get the position of mouse? Y-axis where it is present, X-axis where it is present. We will get the position of mouse. How we can get the position of mouse? We can use client X. We can use client X. It will get X-axis position. Client Y, yesterday I showed you na button. Client Y-axis position. So what I am doing is on body, we are writing on mouse move. On mouse move, we are defining. So here we are writing an option. Move mouse and suppose say get position simply. Get position, right? This get position, what should happen is here, whenever user is moving, I need to get the position of mouse pointer. Then how we can get the position of mouse pointer? By using event. Event sends the information about event. Because event related information contains X position, Y position, which key they are using, all that. Object related information, this event related information is event. So what we will do, we will write a script. In the script, we have a function get position E. E refers to event. We will access that image. That means actually for this image, we will give ID as flag. Okay, we will create a variable flag document dot get element by ID flag. And for this, we are defining width, height already there. What we will do is we will put here flag dot style dot position. I will give the position fixed. Fixed means what? We learned CSS positions. Fixed means it is removed from its place. After removing from the place, where to keep it? We have to define by using left, right, top and bottom. That means we will use flag dot style dot left. Left position should be the position of mouse X position. Mouse X position we will apply as left. How to get mouse X position? E dot client X. It is a number. In that we are adding px. Px is pixel. because it will get only 300, 400, but in CSS it should be px pixels. Similarly, flag dot style, style dot which position, top. Top is equal to e dot client y plus px pixels. That means the y-axis position we are accessing, y-axis position. Now you see here, that means what is nothing but, what is the logic is, get the position of mouse and apply to image. When it should be applied, when mouse is moving. That means now what will happen when mouse is moving, that image will move along with it. That means you are moving the mouse and image is moving along with the mouse. Actually, image position and mouse position are same. Generally, image is present somewhere bottom. What we have done, removed it and kept at the position of mouse. How it is continuously changing its position, because you given the event mouse move. Mouse move means while they are moving the mouse, the new position will come and display. We can do one thing here. Temporarily see, suppose I will put a paragraph temporarily. Here I will write document dot query selector paragraph. Paragraph inner HTML. Here we will put X. X is what? E dot client X. Similarly, in the next line, I will say Y. Y is equal to what? E dot client Y. Just I am showing that, not necessary, just to make you understand. You see now, X position is currently 700. Y position is 41. And when I am moving the mouse, that position is changing. When we are moving the mouse continuously, the position is changing. So when it is changing, whatever new position is there, that new position is applied here. So image position is changing along with the mouse position. That's what actually it is there, right? This is a simple example of working with mouse move like options. These are all mouse related actions, mouse related options. Actually, we can try so many examples based on that. Suppose you see in many websites, when we move the mouse onto particular, suppose you see map, when you move the mouse onto that city preview will come, photo will pop up, or some details will come. All such things we can achieve by using which event? Mouse over. But here the challenging one is how we know on which place mouse is over. For example, see now, suppose actually you should able to do this as a task. Suppose we are having a div. Sorry, this is mouse 3 dot HTML. Now in this, I am defining some option. Now here we are configuring, we are defining some div, or I will do one thing. Here what we will do is we will create a div only. Okay, because we don't have any image. In this div class, I will put color panel. And here I am adding another div. This div is having, this is class as, or instead of class as, this is red box. Red box. Okay, the style We will put color, background color as red. Okay, so and similarly, we have others. So we have a red box, we have a green box, and we have a blue box. We will change green and we will change as blue. That's how we are defined. Now, what should happen here is when we are defining this, we are configuring a style wherever color panel is there. For color panel display, I will give as a flex. And in color panel, wherever divs are present, width I will give some 200 pixel, height I will give from 50 pixel. Actually, this is the colors we are having. Now what should happen is, so we are keeping a text, a heading, align to center. And here we are defining sample text. That is the sample text we are having. Now what should happen is when mouse is over, that color should apply for that text. Now tell me how. On mouse over of this div, that red color must be applied to this text. That means now what we need to do, for every box, I have to use a event, that is on mouse over. On mouse over get color, that is a function. How we can send this color? This dot style dot background color. Why? Simply you can send red. Na? We can use custom arguments also. Na? Right? We learned that we can pass custom arguments. That means it's very simple. That means every time it is not necessary that you have to use the word this or you have to use the word event. Sometimes because they are lengthy references. So we can simply send a custom value also. Similarly, for the next one, we are using on mouse over. What we have to do? Get color. Get color is green. So on mouse over. So we have get color as what? Blue. Red, green, blue, like this we are defining. Right? So the point is, these are all options. So now we need to write a function. So script function is equal to, here in the function, we will just use color. Color will get the color name. And it's very simple now. What we need to do is that we will apply to the text heading. Document dot query selector. What is it? Heading. H1 dot style dot color is equal to whatever color you collected. That means now on mouse over, that color will come. That means we can apply the color for that. I will give you one simple task. Only the point is, what you do is, you do one thing. You Google here. In Google Images, you will find some, suppose Here you will find, suppose I am giving what are those, some shirt clip arts, clip art. Shirt clip arts will come like this. That means you take any clip art of any shirt and you put that clip art there. I will save image, and this is a WebP image. Then I need a snipe, and what we are doing here is, and here we are using, so this is that, and save, and here we are using some shirt where it is in D, Flipkart, public, we have images. In images we are having shirt. Now what should happen is, now what you do, I don't know, you try. What you have to try is, we keep an image above or below. So image source is public images and shirt JPG. Now what I want is, when user moves the mouse on color, that color should apply to shirt. Can you try that? That is an image. That is an image. How you will apply color to image? We cannot apply color to image. We cannot apply color to image. What we have to do is, we need to take 3 images. One image red color, another green color. Any website does the same. Don't think that they change the color of image. They don't change the color of image. What they do, they have same image in different colors, different patterns. When you select a color, that image should come. You try. You see Realme image, they will give you some color shades. And when you select that color, image should come. Generally, they don't change only color. They change the background wallpaper and all. Suppose you see shopping sites, what they do in shopping sites like Flipkart and all. What these people do in the shopping site is, generally when you are selecting anything, you can see aqua blue. Only color is not changing. The background pattern, those also will change. Same one, but different colors. That means same concept, different colors will be there. Now what will happen here is, they don't apply color. When user selects yellow, yellow related image will come. They select blue, blue related image will come. So that you can try that. That means when user selects some, what you do is, you pick this color and put in the box. When user moves the mouse, that should display. You click this color, and when user moves the mouse, then this should display. We must able to change the shades. Not only changing the shade, the text also can change. The text also should change. For example, I move the mouse onto this one, it should show the name as aqua blue. When I move the mouse on this one, it should say sandy gold. Can we change the text also? We can change. We learned switch case now. We can use switch case, or not only that, you learned that when you pass arguments Arguments can be more than one. You can send the color name as argument and color that title as argument. Two arguments you can send and we can display them, right? For example, here we want to display different colors. Then in this image, you should change the images. Just like in previous example we done, you have to do the same. So try that example. If you can try that example, that will be important. Okay, that is the basic. So usually that's very important for understanding how the mouse events will work. So lot of such activities are done by using mouse over, mouse out and all. Next important, we have keyboard events. Already we learned some keyboard events. What are those? On, key up, on, key down. We have on, key press. You remembered we learned string functions. Na? When we learned string functions, lot of examples are related to keyboard events only. What are the examples we learned? I given examples of string functions like starts with, ends with. Remember that? If it is starting with, if it is ending with, while typing itself, we can verify. So what is key up, key down, key press, and when to use them? Actually, simple point is if you are dealing with characters, then you can define key up and key down. So if you are dealing with character code, then you can use key press. If you are dealing with codes, you can use key press. If you are dealing with the characters, then we can use key up and key down. So these are the options we have. Key up, key down, and key press. So already in so many examples, I think I showed you, no need to again discuss them. Which example? String. In JavaScript examples, we learned string related options. So many. String demo 1. Here we are using on blur. String demo 1. Here we are using on change, color change, string demo 4. Here also we are using on change. Here also we are using blur. So lot of actions we are using by using blur and others. Okay. String, is it valid or invalid? We verified by using what? Blur. Blur means what? When it loses the focus. But many times before it loses the focus, immediately you want to verify. Then better you can go with key up and key down. Just you have to use the same examples, change blur to key up. I will show you. Suppose we will use a simple example here. So key demo, key1.html. Okay. Here we are having some data. Data is users.json. already we have product JSON and user JSON. In this, I am creating some array of objects. This have user name, and I given the username as John. Okay. Second username. So another username, some John. Again here 1 2. Okay. Another username I'm giving as suppose John underscore NIT. And another username here we said we will give some David. Like this, we given some users. So it is an users array. That array contains so many objects. In that, every user have a username. There can be other details also, like password, age, other details. Currently, we need only username. Okay. Now, what we will do is here we will create a simple. Here we are creating a simple registration form. I'll keep a heading register user. In the data term, user name, and data definition, input type is equal to text. ID is equal to user name. ID is user name. Now here we will keep data definition. Data definition. Now what we want to do here is, I want to verify whether the username is already taken. Because when user is registering, if already that username is there in the database, we will put an alert saying that please try another name because that is already taken. So now when we have to verify username in such a way that every character change may be available. For example, I typed John, it is taken. If I type John 1, it is available. Again, John 1, 2, it is taken. That means for every character, it should verify. That means one character change, it may be available. One character change, it may not be available. Just like you see, suppose websites like, suppose we have some GoDaddy.com. In this GoDaddy.com, we are searching for website names available or not. I am searching here Naresh IT and search, and it says that when I typed, it says that Naresh IT is already taken. NareshIT.com is already taken. Suppose I entered now Naresh ITA. Naresh ITA, one character changed. Then I search here, it says Naresh ITA and Naresh ITA is available. That means even one character change, it is available. One character change, you can make it available. That means for every character, we have to verify. For every character, we need to verify. Then what to do is, we will write the event as on key up. Why we cannot use on key press? Because what is problem with on key press is, suppose I am typing some John. If I ask how many keys pressed, how many keys pressed here? Only 3 keys pressed. J, O, H. N is not identified as pressed. Key press means you have to finish the key. Currently, cursor is present in the same key. That means it is not finished. When it will be treated as finished, when I come out means I use some space, then finish. Then it is not good. Why? Because I should verify immediately after the character is released. So I cannot use key press here, because key press will fire up after you finish the key. But before I finish the key, immediately it should verify. In that case, what is the best option for that? Key up. I will show you key press what problem will happen. Key up, I am giving verify username. So we will write a function. So script, and we have a function, and we will define a function verify username. Now what should happen is, in this verify username function, whenever user is typing some username, we will collect that username. How to collect the value entered inside this text box? We can collect the value entered in the text box in two ways. We can use get element by ID, or we can use event argument. That means we can use this. This will send the text box. I will give this dot value. This dot value means text box value. That means we will get that value here. Or no need of sending that. What you can do first, you will get username. How to collect? Document dot get element by ID. What is it? Username dot value. It will access the value. Okay, after that, what we have to do? We have to verify whether this username is already there in the data or not. How to collect the data? We learned fetch. Fetch from where? Dot slash data slash users dot what? JSON. And fetch users dot then. Here we will use a callback function. This time I am using shorthand technique. That means response implies response dot what? JSON. Already we know this is a arrow technique, right? After that dot then we will collect users. Now what we have to do is, we have to verify in these users that username exists or not. Then what we will do is, we will write a simple for var user of collection. Collection is what? Users. We are reading every user. If user dot username is matching with username we entered, that means that username is matching with the username we entered. If it is matching, then what should happen? If it is matching, then I want to display some message here. Then I will put an ID as a user error, that is the ID. And I am writing here, I will collect user error, document get element by ID, user error. That refers to the div. Okay. Now what should happen in that div? User error data definition. We need inner HTML. We should display username taken. Try another. That is the name we give. And font color, we will keep it as red. After that, it should break. Why it should break? Because usually this functionality will repeat again for second user, third user. Once it is matching, it should not repeat, it should stop. Because you are writing in a loop. If you don't break, what will happen? It will repeat and verify second user also. If it is matching with one user, simply stop. Then we have to use a break. Else what should happen? Else user error dot inner HTML, we should display username available. That message we have to display. Font color as what? Green. So just we need to configure that and display. That's right. So here let's run this and see. And here we are typing. That means I click here and start typing some username. Then immediately it says username available. I entered John, John. It is taken. It will say try another. I entered John 1, then immediately it says available. 1, 2, that is taken. Again 1, it is available, right? John is taken. Underscore available. NIT, it is taken. It is verifying from the data we are having. Actually, this will even come from database. We will have a database. From the database, we get the data and we use it. This is the basic how we can access and use it, right? Now let's check the same thing with key press. Why I said we should not use key press. Let's see why we should not use key press. I will change the event. Instead of key up, we will use what? Key press. And here I am typing now John J available. Very good. Then JOH still available. JOHN still available. But John is already taken. Why it is saying available? Because according to key press, that N is not finished. When N is finished, when we use some space, now it will verify. That is not good. It should verify immediately. In that case, which one is best option for that? We have to use what? Key up. So we should use key up and key down when we want immediately to verify. Here, then when to use key press? Key press is good when you are dealing with code, not with character. When you are dealing with code of character, that is important. Why key up, key down not good? Because key up, key down cannot get the code. For example, suppose you typed A. A code is 97. A code is 97. And if you type A, it is 65. And very important is when you are using key up or key down, they cannot get the codes correctly. Why? Because a code will be returned only when key is finished. And key up, key down indicate that key is not finished. That means code will be returned. When code will be returned? When code will be returned? Code will be returned when we are using key press, not on key up and key down. That means you are dealing with codes and you are using key up, key down. They don't work. When you are dealing with characters, then key up, key down is good. When you are dealing with code, then this is not good. So while dealing with codes, better always use which one? Key press. Key press. For example, I will show you here another point. Another data term, password. And data definition, input type is equal to password. Now below here we have a data definition. So let's link some icon. Link relation style sheet. And here href is node modules, bootstrap icons, font bootstrap icons.css. Now here, one important point is now we need to display these options. That means icons. I will use a span class bi exclamation triangle filler. Yeah. Okay. I will give here warning and caps on, like this I am giving. Here we kept a style color as gold, like this we are defining. Now you can see there is a simple warning, caps on. There is a simple option, caps on. But when it should display when user is typing capital letter, right? While typing the password, accidentally when capital letter comes, it should display. Then what we will do is the style, we will keep display none. That means it is not displayed. I will give ID as password warning. That means warning. Now it is hidden actually. Now when user is typing the password, while typing the password, that means we will use on key press this time. Verify caps. Why on key press? Because I don't want to verify what he is typing. I want to verify whether he is typing capital or not. I am not concerned about the characters. I am concerned about the code. And what is the code? If the characters code is 65 to 90, that means they are uppercase. Uppercase letters code will be 65 to 90. Why you are using that? Why you are not verifying caps lock? On keyboard, there is a caps lock. Why we are not using caps lock verification? Why we are not using? Because capital letter can be entered in several ways. Without caps lock, can we enter capital letter? Of course. In that case, we should verify based on the code, not on the key. Then what we will do is we will pass event argument into it. That means generally key event argument contains actually here key event argument args contain key related members. And what are the key related members? Key code, char code, shift key, which key, shift key, CTRL key, alt key, like this. These are the keys. So key code, character code, which, shift key, control key, alt key, all this. Now here, what are the points about these is you can easily access them now. What we do, write a function. What is the function? Verify caps. We need to collect E, right? And we need to collect another one is, what is it? Password warning. Document get element by ID. What is it? Password war. Now we have to write a condition. If E dot key code is greater than or equal to 65. Remember, key code, character code, which all are same. All are same. But character code will not be returned for keys which don't have characters. That means you pressed space bar, you pressed backspace, you pressed tab. It will not return any code. But actually space bar, shift, control, they also have codes. If you want every character or key code, then better use key code. But unfortunately, some browsers cannot recognize key code. You have to use which. That means what you have to do, write logic for all. I already told you in CSS 2D, 3D, compatibility issues will come. We have to write WebKit transform, Mozilla transform, right? Opera transform. I told you that in real world, actually, while learning one logic is enough, but we don't know which browser user will use. In every browser, it may not work. Which keyboard he will use? You know, Apple keyboards are different. Windows keyboards are different. Apple keyboards are different. Then in every keyboard, it should be able to work. Then we have to write for different. So you can write if key code is matching, if character code is matching, if which key is matching. Any one is matching, it will work, right? As of now, majority of our keyboard supports key code. That is enough. If key code is greater than or equal to 65 and E dot key code is less than or equal to how much? 90. If it is 65 to 90, what should happen? Password inner HTML, not inner HTML. It is already having text. We should just display. Display means what? Style dot display. Display we will put as block. Otherwise, what we will do is password var dot style dot display. Display is what? None. Like this we define. That means we are configuring and we are defining that. That's the option we are having. Right now, see here, I am typing some password. While I am typing some password, you can see it is small letters. Accidentally capital letter typed, it will show that warning. And I removed the capital letter and typing again normal. Suddenly a capital letter comes, it will show the warning. That is done by using key press. So if you are dealing with key code or character code, then better you use key press. You are dealing with the characters, then we have to use what? Key up and key down. So when to use key up, key down? When you are dealing with characters. When to use key press? When you are dealing with the codes, right? So this is example of how we can manage the key events, right? These are key. Next important, we have in the events, button events. Button events we know on click, on DBL click, on context menu, on select start. These are related to button events. On click, on DBL click, on context menu, and on select start. Actually, on click is single click. DBL click is double click. On context menu is right click. Select start is nothing but mouse down and drag. That is called select start. The mouse down and drag. That is select start. So on click already we know, double click similar to on click. That means what should happen on double click? Context menu is right click, select start is dragging. So in interviews, how they ask about this is, for example, see, we have button events. So generally, suppose in the button events here, we are having an image. Image source is public images, and we have some image, some ASP.jpg, width 100 and height 100. And what we need to do here is, we need to just put a message, double click to view large, right? That is the option here. Now you can see this is the option here. So now what we need to do is, when I double click, it should open full screen. Generally, how to open in a separate window, already we know. I told you link target, open in new window. We open in new window. Actually, we learn two things: open in new tab, open in new window. That means when user double clicks on this image on DBL click, suppose I said open image, okay, then we will write a script here and we will write a function open image. And here we have to define, simply we need to configure window.open method. Which one to open? So we want to open, this is open. What is it? // public / what is it? Images ASP.jpg. Title is some ASP, and features. Features means width, height. Width is equal to some 400. Height is also equal to 400. Like this we are defined. Now what should happen here? When user double clicks, it will open in a separate window. That means we can use single click, we can use double click. Single click already we are using for buttons, right? Another important is, in many interviews they ask like here, right click not allowed, and selection is disabled on this page. Suppose this is the question asked in interviews also. They will ask like, user should not able to select anything. Currently user can select. User should not able to right click. Currently user can right click. They will ask how to disable. How to disable selection, how to disable right click. That's very simple. Where to disable right click? Anywhere in document. Anywhere in document, right click should not be allowed. And anywhere in document, selection should not be allowed. So very simple. In the script, we have to write document dot on context menu. Context menu means when user right clicks on context menu, we will write a function. What this function have to do? It should put an alert saying that right click disabled or right click not allowed. This is the message. After that, immediately this functionality should disable. Then we have to return false. If any event is returning false, that event is disabled. That means if you want any event not to work, then immediately you keep it as return false. If you keep return false, it will be disabled. But above that, it will work. Why? Because when it will be disabled, after showing alert, it will be disabled. Right now, see, what happens when I select here? It is selecting because we haven't written any code for that. But I right click. When I right click, it says right click not allowed. Then okay, you can see right click is not working. Right click cannot open now. Inside this page, it will not work. Anywhere you right click, it's not allowed. You cannot right click anywhere in the page. That is good. We don't want user to even select. We don't want even user to select. So what we do, we will use another event, document dot on select start is equal to function. Select start means dragging. What it should do, directly return false. We should directly return false. Return false. We have to return false. Right now you can see when here it returns false. When I try to click and drag, it's not working. I am trying to click and drag, it's not working. You can't select, you can't right click. So right click is not allowed, selection is not allowed. Selection is not allowed. These are not working here. Right? So that is what the options here is. Right? So what is on click, single click? What is DBL click, double click? Context menu, right click. Select start, drag. Right? In many interviews, they ask like how to disable cut, copy, paste also. Same logic. Document on cut, document on copy, document on paste. We can return false. Then automatically they are not allowed. I will show you them. Suppose these are all related to which one? These are all related to buttons, button related events, right? So click, double click, right click and drag. Actually, we have clipboard events. Clipboard events means on cut, on copy, on paste. All these comes under clipboard events. On cut, on copy, on paste. These are all clipboard related events. We call them as clipboard events. Clipboard events means cut, copy, paste, and all are clipboard events. What is clipboard is nothing but generally, I think you know in Windows, what is the meaning of cut? What is the meaning of copy? How you will define cut? Cut means cutter. What will happen when you use the option called cut? The content that you selected will be removed and it is kept in clipboard. That is the definition. Clipboard is the Windows temporary memory. Anything that you cut or copy is present in clipboard. Actually, we can control the clipboard in our operating system. For example, you are using some friend's computer. You copied some email and you pasted somewhere and used it. If I paste again, will it come? You copied once. If I paste again, will it come? Yes. Any number of times it will come. How to delete from memory? That means previously what they copied, it will be in the memory. That is not good. How you will delete the memory? Generally, in your computer, you will have a clipboard viewer. This is clipboard. You can go to clipboard settings. In the clipboard settings, you can see this is clipboard settings. Clipboard is the temporary memory. Here we have clear button. You can click on clear. Do you know The clipboard provides sharing across device also. You copy in your laptop, you can paste in mobile. You can copy something in your mobile, you can paste in your laptop. That is possible. For that we need Microsoft account. That means you copy in your mobile and you paste in your computer. In computer, copy something, you can use it in your mobile. That sharing also available. Share across devices also available. So actually clipboard is nothing but the Windows temporary memory. Windows temporary memory. That means what happens is, by using this memory, you can keep the information present that you cut or copy. Generally what we do is, what is the problem these days is, suppose on mobile smart devices, when you copy or cut something, when you copy something, you think that you copied, but somewhere you gone and paste, it's not pasting. And sometimes you see OTPs and all, you try to paste which is copied, it will not allow to paste. Suppose you see bank related some account numbers and all, they will ask verify your account again. Then you copy the account number and try to paste. In that it will not allow to paste. It will say that you have to type. How we can disable paste? How we can disable copy and all such things, that you can do by using these events. These events, for example, suppose just like here, I am giving a simple one like clipboard HTML. In clipboard HTML, so here we are defining. So here we are adding one option. What is that option? Suppose let's put some text box data list, and we will keep data term some account number, something like this. And input type is equal to text. Okay. And here we have another data term, verify account. So another input type is equal to text. Generally what we can do in this kind of concepts, I can type some number, like some number. After that I copied this number, Control C or right click and copy something, and I click here and paste. It is allowing. I should not allow. I should not allow pasting in that location. I should not allow paste. Actually, I right click and say paste, it is working. I should not allow. Then usually what you can do here is, we can write an event on paste. On paste. On paste is equal to, suppose I say return false. On paste is returned false. But here, observe carefully, when I say return false, I am typing some number. Okay. I selected that number and I copy that number. I click inside the text box and paste, and you see it's not working. It is unable to paste in that place. It's not working. That means we are not allowing to paste. Of course, you can write a function, put alert saying that you can't paste, please type. We can put that restrictions. And even when user copied, you can display some messages like, I will put a span. Here what we will do, on copy is equal to, we will put a function, copy is a function. Now I will write a script. So function copy, and what should happen, document dot query selector span. So in span inner HTML, we should display copied, something like this. we have to display the message copied. That means what happens is you type something here and select Control C, it is copied. We can put such status on cut or copy some. And when I insert here, try to paste, it's not pasting there, right? So similarly on blur, we can again remove that after copying. Suppose we say, so function hide. And what we do, document dot query selector, what is it? Span dot inner HTML is empty. We can keep it empty. And what we will do here, we will write on blur. On blur is what? Hide. That means you entered something and say select and Control C copied. You finished it, now it is gone. It just showing the status. Copied, cut, copy, paste, all these actions. Even when anybody pastes, we can put a message that pasted. Like that. So these are basic functions required for working with clipboard. And if anybody asks, like in the document, nobody should be able to cut or copy or paste. Then how? Nobody should be able to cut, copy or paste. Then how? Then same methodology. We have to write document dot on cut is equal to function. What this function have to do? Return false, like on copy, on cut, on paste. Anywhere in the page, it is not allowed. You can keep for only one text box if you want. You can keep for entire document. Entire document. That means inside entire document, anywhere it will not allow. Right. These are related to which one? Clipboard. Clipboard related events. Now we have fifth, sixth element state events. These already we know some. Remembered element state events means we have event like on change, on blur, on focus. These all comes under element state. On change, on blur, on focus. These are element state related events. On blur, on change, all these we used regularly. For drop downs, for slider, I showed you EMI calculator, right? For sliders, we used on change. For drop downs, we used on change. Blur already we used in so many examples. Focus means when element gets focus. That means when user clicks inside. That means when user clicks inside here, I will write here on focus. So tip. So tip should display. Okay, I will put a span. So all spans are same. Na? We'll do one thing. We'll put a data definition. So ID is tip. Okay. Now what we will do is, so function tip is nothing but document dot get element by ID tip dot inner HTML. It should display please enter account number, something like this, right? So you cannot paste something like this we are giving. That means what happens here, when you click inside, it will show that message. And we cannot paste anything inside it. And when I lost, it should hide. Then you know that what we have to do. We have to write event focus. Another one is on blur, on blur. Suppose I said hide tip. Hide tip is the function. So same what we do. So function hide tip. And we need to write a functionality here. Document dot get element by ID. So we have tip dot inner HTML we will keep as empty. That means we will keep as empty. Now you click inside, it is not displaying. It is showing message, click outside, it is hidden. That is on focus and on blur, right? That is the basic what we can do. These are all element state. No need to tell about change and all because already we learned them. Now we have some more, two more are there categories important that we'll see tomorrow. Right, tomorrow after that we will discuss about browser objects, AJAX, how to use AJAX, what is local storage. These are very advanced in JavaScript. Those are very important that we will see in next session. Tomorrow we'll do that. Okay, right.